was my last day here on the Mornington Peninsula and it looked like it was going to be a beautiful day. I packed up the van and headed off from my campsite here in Blairgowrie, which if you're looking for a foreshore campsite, here at Whitecliff's Foreshore Camping at Cameron's Bight was the best of the bunch. I had such a nice time here. I then made a quick pit stop at Sorrento to climb up to the lookout at the back beach that I missed out on doing yesterday, to check out these epic coastal views and take some cool snaps. Then I headed to Point Nepean National Park on the very tip of the peninsula to check out everything this historic location has to offer. I'm a massive history buff, and this stretch of the peninsula has so much history to learn, from people arriving here in Australia to being a World War I and II fort, and on top of all that, it is just stunningly beautiful. I started off on the Coles walking track through bushland, checked out the old cemetery, and then onwards along the road to Fort Nepean. Where there are panoramic views of the entire area, with the bay on one side and rough ocean on the other, as you walk along this stretch of road. Fort Nepean protected Victoria during the World Wars, as it gave the perfect vantage point to watch for enemy activity. And a fun fact, the first Australian shot of World War II was fired here from Gun Emplacement 6, making it an important part of our military history. It was incredible to explore the underground tunnels. They have speakers playing of soldiers whistling and working, reloading ammunition, to emulate what it would have been like back in the day. It's surreal walking in the footsteps of where Australian soldiers lived and served when protecting our shores all those years ago. After checking out all these tunnels, I walked down to the engine house, where you can look out over the Rip, which is this treacherously narrow 2-kilometre wide entrance to Port Phillip Bay from Bass Strait, where many a ship has come adrift. Then after checking out the fort, which was fascinating, I headed to the quarantine station, where I bought myself a coffee at this cute coffee truck and had lunch overlooking the bay. I walked around exploring the quarantine station, which has a rich history since 1852. It was where many new Australians stepped out onto our shores for the very first time and was used to house them while they were checked for diseases, the sick were placed into quarantine hospitals, and their luggage was processed. The hospitals were even used during the Spanish flu pandemic of 1919. After the need for such facilities lessened, it was used by the Army as a training facility for Army cadets and then later for the School of Army Health, before becoming part of the Point Nepean National Park in 2009. You can explore a handful of these buildings, though I do feel like they could do so much more here to really show what life was like during this time and set scenes within these buildings, as they do feel mostly vacant, but it was interesting to check out these historic sites and read the little tidbits. By the time I finished exploring Point Nepean, it was now the afternoon. On the drive back, I stopped at Portsea Back Beach. This is considered by many one of the most beautiful beaches in Victoria, and it did not disappoint, being quite spectacular. I don't know if it's my favourite, but what do you think? Then it was late in the afternoon, but I didn't want to drive home just yet, as that would mean coming home at peak traffic time. So I drove to Rye and checked out the Rye Hotel. Had a sneaky pot to kill some time, and their outdoor seating area was a nice place to chill for a couple of hours of downtime. Don't worry, I would never drink and drive. It was only one standard drink and plenty of time before getting back behind the wheel. I stopped off at Dramana to get some fish and chips for dinner from a shop called Salt. I ate my dinner, which was some very good chips and potato cakes, down by the shore near these cute little beach shacks while watching yachts out on the bay, which was a really nice way to finish my day and my time down here at the peninsula before heading home. I hope you enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.